apparently if you're one of the people who naturally wake up late, it's not because you're lazy, it's probably just genetic. I'm going to talk more about it in the video. So there's this book about sleep that I've been ignoring to read for a while because it never seemed interesting enough. Because it's about sleep. I mean, I know I should get around 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep and I'm good to go. What more could there be? A lot more, apparently. This video is going to be a bit nerdy. I'm going to go into details, but don't get nervous. I'm going to make it as entertaining as I can for all the people having the attention span of a freaking housefly. Okay, before we start, I just want to say that most of the stuff that I'm about to say is from the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. And this is only some of the stuff that I found interesting in the book, so give it a read yourself. And if you are, then I'd also recommend reading this article by Alexei Guzzi. He mentioned a few things that Matthew got wrong in the book. Don't set up alarms, at least when you have the option of not doing it, because it messes up your stress levels when it violently wakes you up. And it gets even worse when you keep snoozing it, because then it just does it again and again. The alternative to this could be letting sunlight into your room, open up your windows, even if it's not direct sunlight. It's when the light hits your face, your eyes, your circadian rhythm resets, which then wakes you up. And also, did you know that your brain can actually map time really accurately while you sleep and can wake you up whenever it's like really important, like a flight or an exam or something? You know, when you like set up an alarm at 6 a.m. and you just happen to wake up 2 minutes earlier? That's your brain doing it, which also means that your brain can wake you up whenever you want to, but it just chooses not to. That sneaky little shit. Matthew didn't really talk much about it in the book, but I'm assuming that your brain just your brain just prioritizes sleep over the stuff that's not really important. Well, this one's really helpful. Don't keep lying in bed for more than 20 minutes before sleeping. Like, you know when you do the thing where you go to bed with the intention of sleeping, use your phone for 3 hours, and then try to fall asleep? Don't do that. And also, even if you're directly going to sleep and you're not able to for 20 minutes, then get up, do some other activity until you really feel tired and sleepy again, and then just try again. He also says in the book, when we're actively trying hard to go to sleep, it raises our anxiety and stress levels. So trying hard to sleep paradoxically makes it even harder to go to sleep. This always, by the way, assuming that you don't have any sleeping disorders or anything. I've been trashing on short form content for like the last 3 videos now. But this is something that I've been struggling with for the past few weeks. I feel like watching a lot of information or a lot of content before going to sleep is absurd. This is, by the way, not from the book, it's just from personal experience. I feel like when I watch a lot of content before going to sleep or just throughout the day in general, I just end up with a lot of thoughts revolving around and creating noise in my head. And the thoughts are both from the stuff that I've been watching all day, which is a lot of randomness, or the stuff that I was ignoring while I was watching all of that content. And it's all just coming back to me when I'm trying to sleep. So coming back to the thing that I said in the beginning, there are 2 types of people. One who go to sleep and wake up early, and the others who do it late. Well, why is it like this? One may say. Well, as humans, we've always lived in tribes and groups, so the genetic variation in sleep timing made sense. Because when we slept, we were exposed to the predators of the night. So a group of people would stay up late, and a group of people would wake up early, minimizing the exposed time. Okay, I also want to share this bit about what happens when you sleep, because I just found it really interesting in the book. So there are 2 basic phases of sleep: REM and NREM. REM is when you're dreaming and your eyes are moving, hence the name, rapid eye movement. And NREM, non-rapid eye movement, is deep sleep. It's when your brain waves really slow down and you're not dreaming. And then NREM also has a few stages, which just really depends on how slow the brain waves are. So every night you go through both of these phases, but the way that happens is what's interesting. It's not just you randomly shuffling between these 2 phases. You go through 5 90-minute cycles throughout your 8-hour sleep. And the cycles kind of look like this. So in every cycle you go through both these phases, but you can also see a trend here. In the early hours of sleep, the NREM is dominant. And in the later cycles, the REM sleep is dominant. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail, but he says in the book that in NREM sleep, the deep sleep, you build and remove neural connections. And then in the REM sleep, the dream one, you strengthen all those connections. So according to this, when you don't get a healthy amount of sleep, you're usually cutting off the cycles at the end, which contains like 60 to 90% of your REM sleep. So that means you're losing most of the strengthening process. By the way, this is like not super accurate for everyone. Like if you feel perfectly healthy with 6 to 7 hours of sleep, do that. Don't push yourself to 8 hours because it's different for everyone. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you're struggling with creativity, managing your creativity, watch this video right here. It's gonna help you with that, probably, hopefully.